So it's another episode of the Bigger Than Real Estate Podcast, and we got here with us Eli.
What's up?
You know, obviously you know me, Michael Nelson. Got the co-host Travis Eman.
How we doing?
Okay. So you know the usual process. We're gonna start with our segment. Take a drink and think. Kind of do a little icebreaker.
What are we drinking today? Corona
We got
Extra.
Corona
season.
Already know.
Classic.
Must be summer.
How come you chose this drink?
I don't know. To be honest, it just tastes nice.
It does taste nice.
It's
Beer.
nice.
Good
Good
beer.
choice.
It's a good one still. All right, so obviously our Take a Drink and Think segment. A couple icebreakers to get it going. Just get you talking a little bit. And we'll go into it, all right? So first question. If you could be a member of any TV sitcom, what would it be and what character would you choose?
Like a family member.
Take a drink and think.
Take a
That's
drink and
trademark.
think.
That's
Take a drink and
trademark.
think. Change it up. There you
Trademark.
go.
This is my favorite beer, bro.
Damn, that's hard.
Take a drink and think. If you're thinking, take a drink and think.
Does it have to be like real people, or can it be like a cartoon type? show?
Cartoon too. Of course.
Mm.
You're definitely gonna choose the sickest guy.
Yo, Goku for sure. I'm playing. That's not a sitcom.
I would choose that though.
But I thought like Barney in How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like
That's a
bachelor
good one.
pad, like
Okay.
a huge place and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought you were talking Barney.
Yeah, I thought you were talking Barney too.
I was like, yo,
that's
that's
not
a
lit.
sitcom. Like, Barney's just like getting at girls, living in like
Yeah.
some super rich place. He does nothing at work, just makes $1 million. Like,
Yeah.
Facts.
So I'll take Barney. Yeah,
That's your favorite show? However,
it was lit.
Yeah.
The favorite status.
okay. That's all right.
It was a good one.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go on to number 2. So, if your food is bad at a restaurant, are you saying something? And
I'm sitting
you're
there.
not.
You didn't even take a drink.
Yeah,
You guy went straight into that one. Like.
I just hope I'm with my girl because she's gonna get pissed for me.
yeah.
If it's just me, I'm gonna just most likely eat it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like really, really bad. you
Yeah.
know?
Has anything ever happened to you like that where you had to complain?
Yeah. What's the worst thing you tried at a restaurant? You're like, ugh.
Well, I just went to
Damn.
Mexico, right? And
Oh,
then
okay.
I was like, yeah, I'm here. I might as well like try something. So,
You got sick.
Shout out to Mexico.
it tasted like crap.
I remember Michael told me
Oh
once,
my
too,
gosh,
bro,
I was in
you
Cuba.
do
Oh
not-
yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
Cuba,
do
I
it,
heard.
bro.
But I thought Mexico would be good.
Yeah, Mexico should have been good.
It was
Yeah,
nice, but
for
I think
real.
it was just like the combination of flavors plus like the tequila. It was just like, yo, I had to say something, but I just sat there and just moved it around on my plate, and I was like, nah.
You can't really complain at like an all-inclusive
Yeah,
restaurant.
for real,
like,
for
Even
real.
a dollar tip. Like, what am I gonna say?
Yeah.
Whatever.
They're amped.
If I didn't say nothing, I just sat there,
For real, that's the worst one
just chilled. Yeah.
ever. That's the worst
Like
one.
most recently, I just remember because it was like 2 weeks ago.
Fair, fair.
But like for sure, there was bad stuff. I just ate around it.
Yeah.
Like I just.
Yeah. All right.
True.
Number 3, a little bit deeper, but like, what are you most looking forward to in the next 20 years?
Take a drink and think.
Take a drink and think.
Take a drink and think, right? Yeah.
20 years? Honestly, like, I just kind of want to see, like, the process. Because, like, right now, like, I've been feeling, like, really motivated and stuff. And, like, I just kind of want to see, like, if I stay motivated or if I, like, actually achieve the things I'm kind of setting out to do. And, like, I want to do, like, firefighting and stuff. So,
Right.
like, in 20 years, like yo, I can be,
That's
like,
deep.
have a lot of money or I can be, like, in a different situation. Like, it's
Yeah,
a dangerous
yeah.
job, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure, like, I kind of stay on track for the 20 years. So I don't really have like a set goal in 20 years, but like, of course, I want to be comfortable. I still want to be healthy. I hope by then I have kids. Like,
Yeah,
they're
of
healthy
course.
too, and have enough money to actually do things. Like that's what I want to do in 20 years. I don't think I have like a set like, well, I want to visit 100 countries.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
have,
of course,
like,
of course,
a
yeah.
specific goal, but just more overall like success or happiness. Like 20 years thinking, am I stay on this pace or like being productive.
Okay, no, that's true. That's fair. And at the end of the day, that is your goal. So like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So kind of is the goal.
Okay. No, that's sick.
All right. So
Bravo.
that was Take a Drink and Think segment. We flew by that.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, we'll go into the meat of it. So basically, you have the floor right now. talk about yourself. Who are you? Where
I
did you
can
grow
no
up?
longer take a drink and think.
You can take as
and
many
you're
drinks
gonna
as you
think,
want.
bro.
You're gonna have to
drink
finish
like
your
we're
drinks. So you
drinking.
might as
Yo,
well.
by the end, if it's not finished, you gotta chug it.
So you might as well
obviously.
finish as much as you can.
Yeah, that's what's
Chicken
in there.
water, yeah. On the
That's
rocks,
shot.
bro.
That's the shot. But yeah, you have the floor right now. Talk about yourself. Give the listeners an idea of who you are, where you came from, anything you want to talk about to let them know who you are right now.
All right. Well, I'm 22, about to be 23 in August. I just graduated from university.
Congrats.
Yeah,
Last weekend, actually, or this week, just passing weekend. With a degree and a major in psychology. And
You're stunning on us.
you know how we do. Yeah, I just finished there. Like, I mean, Bishops was a really rewarding thing for me. I met you guys, obviously, and then just the people and the connections I made. I felt like I learned a lot more out of the classroom, like, about myself and how to, like, interact with people and how to, like, you know, kind of network and use relationships to kind of be successful. Like, for example, like, you guys taught me how to power clean. You know what I mean? Like, I was weak coming into my second year. In my third and fourth year, I actually had a lot more, like, explosion. Just, like, that kind of thing, like, taught me how to, like, lift in certain ways and how to study in certain ways and, like, just to get through it. And I think I learned a lot from networking, and I'm trying to take those skills and apply them to my life now. Like, talk to you guys about real estate
Of course.
and just how to, like, get involved and how to make some money from that and, like, some passive income where I'm just sitting on property and ownership and stuff.
Yeah, right.
That's how you make the real money.
Exactly.
And also, like, I don't know, I played football for a while, and that was cool.
That's cool.
And now, though, I don't know. It takes a lot on your body to play football. Like, it's a lot of work put in for a few games and little reward.
Yeah. Very true. Little reward, yeah. Especially ambitious.
No reward.
No reward. Yeah. Zero. Literally 0 and 8. Zero.
And, like, you know, there's a lot of politics stuff too. But, like, going forward, in September I'll be going to Centennial College and stuff, and so I'm gonna take the firefighting program. Hopefully, like, I can get hired pretty soon, within like 2 years, and then I'll be making a good bit of money, and I can start saving, and then maybe get, like, investing into some properties and stuff, and start, like, I wanted to talk to you guys about, like, flipping properties. Like, that's kind of my interest, you know, like, buy some crappy, kind of do the DIY, because, like, with a firefighter, you have a pretty flexible work schedule. So I can kind of put the time in a couple days a week and be there and be present and, like, actually put some like, stuff together and make the house come together. And then, like, I do moving right now. That's my current job. And I see a lot of, like, houses that are, like, worth so much money, and it's so ugly. And And I'm like, I think it's just because it's being presented in a certain way. And
Of course.
do this thing called, like, staging, right?
Yeah.
Make it, like, they bring other furniture in, and, like, they make the house seem like it's a lot nicer than it actually is by just putting pillows everywhere, basically. And it sells for, like, $20,000 more, and it's just such a small things that people actually care about. That if I was buying a house, I would not care at all about. You know, like, if there's a little scratch on the wall, like, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But some people, it's like,
that is like clearly like
$10,000.
yeah.
Again, I'm not really in a position to be buying a house, so I don't really know what I'm looking for. But
So sorry, go ahead.
nah, that's my
Okay, so like, so when your life, bro. So all right. So you went from a psychology graduate to wanting to be a firefighter to looking into ways that you can invest and be financially free. How does that kind of chain in together? Like, where do you come from, ELI, entering university, and just thinking, I just want to go to school, play some football, to coming out saying, yo, I have a psychology degree, but I want to be a firefighter and I want to be financially free?
Well, I think I kind of value my degree not so literally. Like, if I had a business degree, like I have an accounting degree, I want to be an accountant. I think psychology really allowed me to, like, understand how I think, right? And understand how, like, your interactions with others kind of, like, shapes the way your relationship is with them, you know? So, like, the firefighting to me was, like, it's a pretty traumatic job, you know? And if I have a better understanding of my psychology and how, like, even just in an intense emergency situation, how you speak to someone or how you convey yourself, convey the message you're trying to get across, like, how it can affect how they respond to you. You know? So just having that understanding of psychology, I think, is going to relate to my job more than people, like, give it credit for. You know what I mean? Like, if you see someone, like, a dead body or something, you know, that's pretty traumatic. And, like, to have an understanding of, okay, like, mourning and stuff like that, and, like, like, going through, like, those kind of processes.
Like the stages,
that'll help me be more successful at the job, because football kind of prepared my body for the job. You know? So I already, and then I feel like I have an advantage with the mental aspect of like understanding certain feelings and emotions. And then I think with the real estate, really, I think that just comes from not wanting to work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I cannot do that. I have a short attention. I'm already fidgeting. I'm sitting for 5 minutes. Like, I have a short attention span. I don't want to. Like, I can't work a 9 to 5 at all. Like, I can't be that guy.
Yeah.
I can't be in a position where I'm like, how am I going to pay for this that month, and how am I going to pay for that? You know what I mean? And also, it's just like I need, because money really is freedom to me.
Yeah.
That's what money is. Money is just, in our capitalist society, allows us to like do whatever we want. You know what I mean? Like, if I have $1 million in my bank account chilling, I'm like, yo, let's go to vacation for a weekend. It's light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have to be worried about, I got to get to work on Monday.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got to ask for time off, talk to your boss, all that stuff.
Exactly. Like, it kind of just allows you to be like a free human. I can travel, I can experience certain things, and I don't have to worry about like, like, will my kids eat? Will my kids go to college? Is my wife good? Like, can she get that bag she wants or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, so really, like, it came down to like my motivations, and my motivation, like, shifted from like partying and being that guy that wanted to play football and try to be the cool kid to like not caring about certain things. And like as I graduated and kind of transitioned out of that Bishop's culture that you guys know, it's like it's really fun. Like, you're immersed, like you're in a bubble. It's like I transitioned out of that to become like something that I want to be in 20 years. Like, if I was on that pace, I was gonna be like, oh, I was so cool in college.
Yeah.
Who cares about that when you're 35, you know?
Facts.
Now it's like, hey, I did that thing. I appreciated it for what it
enjoyed it,
was.
embraced it,
Like, we made some cool memories and stuff. And then now it's like, okay, now I got to get serious and do things when I'm 22, not when I'm 35.
Exactly.
Do like small things, even just learning. Like right now I'm trying to be like a student.
Exactly, just learning as much as you can,
Learning and just be humble enough to accept advice from even people that I don't think have anything to offer.
Exactly.
It doesn't cost anything to listen. And even if he says some nonsense all day, if he drops one gem, the conversation is worth it.
Exactly.
The conversation is worth it. But I'll drink it.
Yeah, right. Nah, that's a fact. I like that.
In terms of going to college and stuff, for the person who's thinking about going to college or going to firefighting school, instead of doing both at the age of 18, like, you know, they could, if you hypothetically didn't go to college, you could have started this process a lot earlier, and you could have got on earlier. Yeah. Do you regret not going into firefighting school right away, or
no.
you would always recommend going to college first? Or
I wouldn't recommend it because I feel like not everyone can handle it. Like being away from, like, I went to school, like we all did, went to school for 8 hours away from where we were, and I was 18 and stuff. You know, like it's like you get thrown into a whole new lifestyle, and like I had a football team to support me, but a lot of people don't play football and don't have that kind of like I had Mackie.
Shout out to Mackie.
He literally came to pick me up at like 6 in the morning when I didn't want to lift. Like whatever. Like, he didn't let me fail, you know what I mean? Like I had some good help, you know? And like but for me, like I said, I learned a lot of like lessons outside of the classroom that I think are preparing me for like my future. You know? And like I had to learn, like for example, like how to cook for myself. I can't really cook for myself. But, like,
you can survive. Exactly.
When I was 18, I was like, yo, if it wasn't KD or hot dogs, it's
catch up on everything. Exposed.
That's low key. No, but like I wouldn't recommend it for anyone. But I think going away from home or spending time away from home, whether you're doing it for your education or just for yourself, you can even just go live in a different country. Just time away from your parents and your community you've always seen, I think is beneficial to anyone. So for me, I recommend going away, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend university because like psychology is not really like applicable for a lot of people, you know. But it just prepared me more, like physically also. Like I wasn't like as like used to lifting and like I wasn't a man yet, you know. When I was 18, I still had like a baby face and like the baby fat and stuff. So now it's like I feel like I'm more physically ready, mentally ready, emotionally ready, especially. So like I wouldn't recommend university for everyone, but like the time away I think was the most beneficial.
Definitely, like my degree, I'll never use my degree in my life. Like I don't even know. Who cares, you know? Like, but I think it did help me like grow up and learn exactly how to like even like I wasn't working a job or anything, but I was given a certain amount of money, and if I didn't have that, like if I spent it all right away, I
Yeah.
didn't have anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
it learned me how to manage a little bit,
Yeah.
and taught me the little bit of like values that I'm using now.
Yeah, priorities.
So, yeah,
Helps you order
exactly.
your priorities. Yeah.
So I definitely think it was.
And I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. So like sitting on what you're saying, like two things you're kind of talking about that are important are like your growth, are like being able to network and socialize with others, and as well as your independence, right?
Yeah.
So how important is it to have that balance between the two? Like knowing when to be that party guy or network and socialize, and when it's time to be by yourself and kind of get into your own zone of understanding.
Yeah, I think it's like moderation with everything, you know? Like we can drink and think like this, but eventually when we drink too much, we can't think. You know what I mean? So it's like if we like have a beer, casual beer, we're talking, we're being productive in our conversation, but then there's like, remember those nights? Like,
Yeah.
we're not
Remember.
you're just not productive. Let's just leave it at that, you know? So it's kind of like you got to find that balance where it's like you're still going towards what you want to in like reality, but you also got to be able to appreciate the people that are around you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always business. It's not always how am I going to be the best, you know, investor. Like, when
Yeah.
I was with you guys, I
exactly.
could see you guys as people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it makes the interaction more genuine, so then I actually do
It
take
is.
more away
It
from
is.
the network.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But then also I have to take it away and become independent and use what I've learned to be productive for myself. You know what I mean? 'Cause you guys aren't making me money. I'm not making you guys money.
Yeah.
You're not about that. You gotta be with that business. You gotta be with that business. But we'll talk about that off camera.
Connie boys.
Hey, all right.
Well, yeah, for real. I like that. I like that.
Let's take a break real fast.
Okay.
All right, we're back. So we'll just jump right back into it.
Cool.
So I know you talked about firefighting school, but really, like, take them into the mind of like your goals going forward, and like where you're trying to be. Literally, I know you want to become a firefighter, get on and everything, but like, where do you really want to be in the future?
Well, a lot of my motivations are financial right now, really, because like that's kind of how things work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need money to eat, have a car, have a house, and be comfortable and stuff. So like, to be honest, like firefighting to me just seems like it has everything I want in a job, more so than the actual job itself. Like, I think that's kind of how I looked at football too. It came with everything that I wanted, but the actual sport itself doesn't really matter to me that much. Like, I would have had the same amount of fun with basketball or lacrosse as well as in
Yeah, right.
skate, you know what I mean?
It's such a lifestyle, right?
Just like the lifestyle, like having the camaraderie, having like the schedule and like the training program and like the demands in your body and being tested and stuff like that kind of stuff attracts me. So like a firefighter has all that too. Like, you're working in a team, you know, you're getting tested, you're in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
But it's also like has a lot of benefits too. Like, say anything happens to me, they're gonna compensate me for it. You know, my family's good. It's not like a job that if I die, it's like, okay, like, my family's alone, you know. But like, it sucks. But like, at least my family will be taken care of. You know what I mean? I think about that kind of stuff. And
Of course.
and like, yeah, to be honest, a lot of my motivation is financial. And like when people say money doesn't matter, it kind of bothers me in a way, because it's like, yeah, you can be comfortable in your little humble one bedroom apartment, and your job can pay for it every week, but like, you're just working to
to pay for that. Yeah, literally.
It's like, if we lived in like a pre-money society, I would be fine living in my one bedroom apartment and just not having to get up for work every day. I'm just living my life. Like, I don't need much more than a bed, you know. You guys saw my room.
Yeah, facts.
Like, I don't mean it like that. Like, I don't need luxury, but like, you want to do certain things and have certain freedoms. So like, it's really financial stability is my goal.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why like I feel like real estate will help.
Yeah, that's true. That's how you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so financial stability is my goal.
Do you have any idea of like other ways to invest right now, or is it mainly just real estate is the way?
Investing in general, like, I feel like I had like it's one of those things where like I feel like I'm thinking as though I have a lot more money than I actually have, and like I'm not really budgeting, but like stock markets and stuff. Like, my one friend is really interested in it, and he's talking to me about it, and like I don't think I have a natural gift for it, honestly. Like, I don't. But I think if I had time to like really learn and stuff, and like I'm thinking of also doing like some more schooling after the firefighting.
Oh, for sure.
Always keep learning. Yeah,
Always
keep learning.
Because like even investing in yourself, like, you know,
Exactly.
your knowledge is an
100%.
asset, you know?
Exactly.
So like,
it's just like what you were saying, like those books. Like, I'm reading a lot now, and like, yo, I
Shout out.
I could be reading a book, and I think it's super trash. But I'm gonna keep listening just because one gem
that can change the whole life. Trust me.
It makes it worth it.
Yeah,
For example,
yeah.
I set a goal for myself this summer to read 3 books. Like I don't think I've read a book front to back since I was like in grade 9, and I had to read like one of those.
Yeah,
Frankenstein
or something. Yeah. Same. Yeah, exactly.
Shout out for the
Always looking for the way out.
All right, I'll practice.
Shout out to the English teachers out there.
Shout out Miss Betty. That's my grade 9 too. But yeah, like. So like I read the book Freakonomics the other day, right?
Okay.
And like there's like a concept in Freakonomics about like real estate agents, right? And like they talk about how like they make a certain commission off your job.
Yeah.
So like say your house is selling for $300,000, you know what I mean? And they'll put the work in to get it to sell for the first decent price because they get a certain commission. So say they make $3,000 off that transaction, whatever. I don't know
Right.
exactly, but so like if they kept your house on the market for another week, they could probably sell it for $310,000. But their commission, they'll only make $3,100.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So a week worth, it's $9,900 for you and $3,100 for that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that extra week of work is not worth their time for the amount of money they're getting. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just even a concept like that I never even thought of in my whole life. I'm like, oh, $300,000, that's pretty good. But if you push for that $315,000, that's another $15,000 in your pocket.
Right.
That like, and then say for example now, like we could hustle it. Like say you guys are like my real estate agents now, you know what I mean? And you're my friends. I'll be like, we can split that over the top if you put that extra week in. You know what I mean? Like, even just that understanding, like, what's me giving you 5 racks and me taking an extra 5 racks?
Yeah.
Right.
But just having that understanding, like, I didn't even think of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, like, the whole book, Freakonomics, was just about, like, incentives and how, like, you can't do anything without incentives. So my incentives for playing football, I realized, were all selfish.
Yeah.
All selfish. Like just because I had a scholarship, just because like it was cool, all my friends were there, and it was only because it made me feel good that I played football. I think that's kind of why you should do it because it makes you feel good. But like I didn't care at one point when we were losing, and that was like our culture. I couldn't really care that much about the result. I always played my hardest, but I knew I couldn't. I'm not a quarterback. I'm not throwing 6 touchdowns. You know what I mean? I have a sick game, like, but I can only do so much to, I can score some touchdowns. Right. Like, I can only do so much, you know what I mean? So, like, when I stopped caring about the overall and, like, stopped caring about what like coach think about me and stuff, and, like, I stopped caring about those kind of things, and I realized I was only doing it for, like, selfish, temporary reasons. Like, you know what I mean? That's when I realized, okay, I think I'm done with football, and I want to, like, move on because the incentive was gone. So now the incentive for me to be a firefighter is my financial stability. It's a good job. You get your money, you get your time off, and then, like, going forward, I can, like, there's incentive to it. You know what I mean? And, like, so that's what I learned from Freakonomics. Essentially, like, incentives and, like, just, like, how some people, like, even if it seems like they have your best interest at heart, like that real estate example I gave you, it's, like, still everyone's selfish. Everyone's still trying to do their best.
For sure.
So, like, that's the first book I've read front to back in a long time, and, like, I was like, damn, I actually learned something. It resonated with me. If you watch, like a YouTube clip, like a documentary, only so much sticks with you, The fact that I had to actually sit there
and like read, trust me.
Like they reiterated in like 60 different ways. You're like, okay, like certain things are actually resonating with me. Even from that book, I learned like selling crack in LA. It was like a corporation. Like they had like a certain thing, and like the lowest guys only make like below minimum wage. And it's like it's only worth the danger because they can move up and make that certain money. But the mid-level boss had like 3 cars and 2 houses and stuff. You know what I mean? And then the upper CEOs making like Pablo. You never see them. Their risk is lower. But like if they do get caught, they're in jail forever. You know what I'm saying? But the guys at the street, he might go to jail for a month or a week and get shot. Like that's scary too. But like, it's all with the incentive that you can move up.
You can't be the top done, the kingpin, all that kind of stuff.
You think drugs are just like, I have this bag, I'm gonna give it to you for certain. No, it's like a lot goes into it. We don't even appreciate.
Exactly. The business behind it. Exactly.
Not the original question, but
that's good. That's good. I like that. I liked how you like kind of put the thing of reading books and understanding to always keep learning. Like whether you're reading books, whether you're listening to books, whether you're watching YouTube, listening to podcasts, whatever. Like I feel like education got so boring in high school.
So boring.
Oh my god!
Like so boring.
And it was nonstop, right? just now.
Exactly,
Right?
and then you go into university where education is still pretty boring.
Yeah.
Like you get to choose your courses more flexibly, but there's still courses like data analysis that's
That was
like.
so garbage.
I would rather do anything. I'd rather learn about
Stats
cows
is
right
so
now than like
garbage,
stats, all that stuff.
SPSS,
Yeah,
I'm never ever gonna use that program in my entire life. And if I have
exactly.
to, I'm quitting my
Excel
job.
sheets, like I don't need to know them that deep. I put the
Yeah.
numbers, the names, that's
Mhm,
it,
it's
save.
very simple.
You know, and like so it's like they kind of take all the fun out of education,
Yeah.
but
They make it like a chore
realistically-
almost.
Yeah, they make it a chore and they don't even teach the things that we need, which is crazy, right?
We talked about that on one of the other episodes.
Always talking
like
about
the
it.
degree should have took 2 years, but no, they want you to take all this other
Because they get their money,
nothing
you know,
to
and
do. They
then
nothing
what
to do
happens?
with
You
it,
leave,
right?
you leave school, you have debt. They say you gotta start paying it back, and you're working the 9 to 5 in the 1-bedroom apartment, right? And that's the trap.
Yeah, that's
Unless
the trap,
you
yeah.
get educated, right?
Yeah.
And that's what things like Freakonomics and all those kind of things teach us about money and finances that we can't really learn sitting in a classroom where we're not even paying attention because my phone's going off and Instagram's crazy right now.
Yeah.
You know, like
School only takes you about a quarter of your life, right? So
Yeah.
you gotta keep learning.
Keep
about
learning,
your
yeah,
life.
yeah.
And even you just got to be open to
Yeah,
certain things.
yeah.
Like when you start feeling like you know everything is when you're lost.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's when you're stuck. Yeah.
Like you gotta have that like fresh mind, like a baby. Like you know, like everything
Facts.
you see is amazing for the first time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you gotta be like appreciative of every conversation.
every-
Even if it's a guy at a bus stop. I took an Uber the other day and he was talking to me about like he worked at a halfway house for kids, and I'm like talking about my psychology degree and stuff. And I was like, yo, that's mad cool. I'm sitting in the Uber like, yo, I actually like would park and talk to this guy for another hour, but I gotta go. And I gotta deep, but like, I was like, it was a beneficial conversation. You know?
You got the gem.
But I was like, I appreciate you. I gotta go.
What was the tip?
No, 0 tip. College money. Like, OSAP got my tip. Yeah, OSAP got my tip.
You're on scholarship. What you talking
That's
about?
another thing. The irony of a scholarship is they're just not making me pay them.
Yeah.
I don't cost anything to sit in the class quietly.
Right,
I don't even show up half the time. You know? Like I'm literally all they did was just give me a little number like here, take your 70
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like that's the irony of it. So like you're busting your ass to like satisfy some coach that thinks he's on a high horse.
Yeah, yeah.
It's for you to just not pay them. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
legit,
Like,
crazy,
it doesn't
ironic.
cost you anything for me to be here.
Nah.
You're paying the teacher for all the other kids too.
Yeah,
And that's why in
yeah.
the States they actually have good football.
Yeah.
Because those kids can actually put the time and effort into football. I still
Yeah.
have to work in the summer to still be in debt.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
Still
what I
be in
mean?
debt.
And, like
Facts.
I went
Yeah.
to Quebec for the reason that they actually pay for your full tuition. In Ontario, it's like, oh, here's 4,000.
Yeah, you get 4,000,
you know?
44,
With like a
4,000.
75 average or something.
Yeah,
Coming
yeah.
out of high school with a 68. McMaster, I'm like, yo, don't call me back, yo. I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy, yo. Don't get dropped.
Don't kill me. Okay. So staying on that. So you do have your psychology degree, and like you do like kind of the opportunities to help out kids that are kind of going through this, like we were kind of talking about before. So kind of like touch on that aspect of using your psychology degree to actually help others.
Well, I've never actually really been involved in anything, but it's always kind of been in it. We've talked about this.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
Just like help people my age, and I think sometimes it's more relatable to talk to someone in your age bracket than someone that's like 35. That's like, yeah, I did that. I went through that. But I'm like,
Yeah, you're like,
you
shit.
didn't have a cell phone though. They didn't
Imagine.
record you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My dad at my age already had like a kid.
Yeah, it's a whole different
we're not talking about
situation.
the same
Yeah,
thing, you know?
facts.
So like I think it's like someone that's in your rough age bracket. I'm like, yeah, that happened to me too. It's like you know what I mean? Like some embarrassing stuff happens to you, like a girl break your heart, like that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
when I'm also 22 and you're like 20, it's like okay, like that happened to me like 6 weeks ago.
Legit,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
legit,
Not like 25 years ago. I'm talking about some nonsense you don't want to hear. So I feel like it's nice to have young people involved in that, especially young black people involved in that, because like sometimes like the visible minorities aren't always like not treated the same, but aren't always like people aren't really sensitive to their situation.
Yeah.
Because you know some people everyone faces depression, you know what I mean? But depression's a lot harder when you're starving, you know, and you're living like minimum money and minimal environment. You know what I mean? It's like not to take away from people in a better situation's mental health issues, because like, everyone's matters.
Everyone goes through it,
But I think it's one of those things where like there are situations that should be addressed accordingly, and not everyone shouldn't be treated the same, because that's just not how life is. Everyone's not the same.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
everyone can't have the same sort of intervention and the same sort of interaction with like a person that like a counselor. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be case sensitive, because like That's what it is. And people are well trained, so people do that. But like, if every time I'm saying like, how does that make you feel? It's like, yo, it's hard for me to understand that because I don't even have time to think about how it makes me feel because I'm working 14 hours a day to still be in debt. You know what I mean? Some people are sitting at home on $1 million, like, man, I'm so, you know, they have time to think about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Process.
But yeah, so I think young people, it's like, I've been in always a pretty blessed situation. Like, I mean, I wasn't always rich. I'm not rich, but I mean, I didn't always have everything, but I always had enough. You know? I was always like very comfortable, and I think like I've always been blessed for that, and I've always appreciated it. So like, I think if I can help someone that hasn't, or if I can like, you know, just be like a brother or a mentor or you know, whatever. And I feel like that's how I'm using my degree, even if it's not literally like I got hired because I have the degree, but it's just, I think it's just more so the understanding of people that I appreciate. And just like I took a class, motivation and emotion, and it was just like, it was so whack. The class was whack. But, like,
I didn't think you were going to say that.
But like, I took some good stuff away from it. Like, just the fact that, like, there are different types of emotion, and, like, you know, you kind of fight certain motivations because it's not, like, quote-unquote, right in society. You know what I mean? But there's actually, like, what right is relative.
Yeah,
you know
exactly,
what I mean?
exactly.
Like, if I'm starving and you have all the food and I take some food, I'm wrong for stealing, but I'm starving, you're wrong for eating in front of me. So it's really relative on how, like, you see certain things.
It's all perspective,
I think that's how I'm going to apply the degree. I think it's going to be less, like, literal and just more, like, my knowledge I've gained on it and how I can be a better person and more helpful to people. And, like, firefighting, I hope I can do that too, you know? Like, just hug someone after a tragedy, you know? Just be, like, soft.
Be human.
Like, empathetic.
Be human,
exactly.
And I feel like that adds a lot more value than just being in the office. Someone sits in your thing because they're paying for you for your time. And you give them like some pills and say you'll be all right. That actual connection with someone is a lot more valuable.
Yeah, it will be.
And people appreciate it.
Especially in that field, everyone becomes so desensitized.
Exactly.
But you kind of have to be to survive.
They do.
You can't just take everything in like it's happening to you because you won't survive a month. You know?
But realizing that if an incident did happen to someone and their family member is mourning or like being able to reach out and help them out is a huge thing.
It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference,
But also knowing yourself and being able to reach out to someone, because like you speaking to your family, it might be difficult. So being able to reach out to someone who isn't that close to you, just so that you can talk to someone, because you're gonna see some crazy stuff, right? So you have to speak about it, or else like you'll become, when you're 30, you'll be like the mind of like a 55-year-old, right? So
kids these days.
So that's why I kind of want like additional income, so I don't have to do it for 50 years. Because the older you get, the less tolerable you probably will get.
100%.
More, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be so like beat down that like, it's like, man, can't really like. You see something happen to a kid. You know what I mean? You have kids at home. That's gonna affect you. There's no way it doesn't.
Of course.
So the less time I have to spend doing that, because it's a good income, So hopefully I can make that money into something bigger that I don't have to be so like involved in. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's good.
Take a break real fast.
Okay.
So we'll get into the last question.
All right.
So I know you talked about having passive income, and you talked about not having to work. But truthfully, like if you did have to work but you didn't need the money, what would that job be? Take a drink and think. Take a drink and think. Trademarked.
What would that job be? You already know.
To be honest, I still think like firefighting.
Yeah.
Because like it's crazy. Like you really have to do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And half the time you're chilling.
Yeah.
More than half the time you're chilling. So like, but if money wasn't a thing, honestly, I don't think I'd work.
Yeah.
If I could not.
What would you do then?
Anything I wanted. Like, I would just wake up every day like, this is great, Maybe I'd spend the whole day playing video games one day. Maybe one day I'm like, man, let's just go to Fiji. Like, I don't think, but to break the question, I honestly think, like, I don't know what I'd do.
Would you help people? Would you do the psychology thing? Reach out to...
I don't straight be traveling? Like, you thinking?
I don't know. I feel like... that's why I didn't really want to pursue psychology, because I feel like I don't really want to be in like super intense conversations with people, taking on their baggage all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's once in a while is nice and you can handle it, but like to be a psychologist.
8 hours a day.
That's
here
a
and
lot,
there.
yo. Every hour, someone's coming with some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
It's the most.
And it's the
Yeah.
most
Most of the time,
crazy
it's not like a
stuff.
cheerful
Yeah,
conversation.
no.
They're not like, hey, it's good
It's
to see you.
never
It's more like,
so crazy.
It's the worst thing in the entire
Exactly,
world.
exactly. Yeah.
Cry for 1 second. I'm like, but like, I don't know. Like, I think I can handle it, but I just like it doesn't really like attract me. You know.
Yeah, fair.
But like, that's a good question. Do you guys know what you would do? Have someone ever asked you?
I'd be traveling.
Just traveling.
I would definitely be traveling.
Yeah.
You would not see me at all.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see as many places in the world that I can.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's so much stuff. Like, the world's so huge. There's so, like, I've seen, like, Brampton, like, Cuba, a little aspect of Jamaica.
That's what I'm
You
saying,
know,
yeah,
like,
that's what
yo,
I'm
I've
saying,
probably
yeah.
seen, like, 0.02% of the world, and that's
true.
me boasting it.
It's
You
true,
know what I'm
it's
saying?
true,
I
it's
ain't
true.
seen nothing yet, so definitely travel and see things that, like, the eyes would never see before.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You're the first person I asked. Still.
Yeah.
Change up the whole
Interviewing me, bro.
What about you, Jack? You
I
don't-
would
you don't run
do
from
stuff like this, all social media wise. Like I would just YouTube and hopefully turn it into something bigger. But
Yeah.
like literally just and try to help out people. You know,
In what way?
like people who are struggling in business or something. I would try to help them out and show them the way. Because hopefully at that point I wouldn't have to worry about money. So I
Yeah.
made it at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So yeah, it would be something with like this though, something creative. You know.
Yeah. You see Jay-Z's a young billionaire now?
Yeah,
I was gonna say
youngest billionaire.
But
Yo, I saw-
that's inspiring too.
Bro, I saw something. Sorry to cut you off. I saw something today on Instagram. That was like Jay-Z didn't start rapping till he was 26, and everyone said he was old.
That's what I'm
Now
saying.
he's 49, a billionaire. He says he's young, like the
Yeah,
youngest
that's what I'm
billionaire. You know what I'm
saying.
saying? Like
Trapping,
crazy.
bro.
But it's
That
like
was
Jay-Z,
crazy.
like
26,
Jay-Z,
like
10 years ago could have just retired and chilled.
yeah.
But it's like
Always trying to
like
push
you said,
barriers.
like, how do we keep that motivation going when you don't have to work? Like he was like, I want to be a billionaire.
I don't even think he's working.
He's not
He's literally
working.
just putting his money in stuff and sitting back
Yeah, I
at
know.
Brooklyn games. That's all he's doing, bro. He just puts his money in great investments. He has a good team around him.
Aren't you guys what, 25, 26?
25,
I'm
26 this
turning
year.
26.
Yeah.
This
I'm
album,
turning
drop
26.
this- you might as well drop
We
this
just start
26
rapping.
weeks a week, bro. This is crazy.
We're making a music video. Think this is a podcast? Psych, bro.
That'd be Jay-Z,
It's just
bro.
sound
You're
bites.
perfect timing, bro.
I'm trying to tell you something, bro. Conley Boys reunion.
I'm out here.
First time, bro.
You need a hook, yo. I told him to come, bro. He don't get on the track no more.
Fair.
Scared.
Dog.
He's got one more year, right?
1.5.
This guy's lonely without you, eh?
That's a heavy hat.
That's a lonely half.
This whole like
That's a lonely
2 minutes just dissing Twan. shout out to
after this. Yo, link in the bio. Diss track in the bio.
Oh, man.
No, for me, it'd be hard to keep that motivation because, like to me, it's like it's not that I want to be like I'm a billionaire. Like that status would be sick, obviously, but it's
Yeah.
not like my goal to be like flexing on you guys how much money I have.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
more
right.
just the ability to like Jay-Z
Exactly,
does,
'cause
just
whatever
kick
you
back.
want.
Imagine how much he had to grow himself to become a
Yeah.
billionaire. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the money
He
comes
talked
with the
about
growth,
that, yeah.
right?
In his music, how he's made himself more vulnerable and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he's just telling his story. Like,
Exactly,
and, like,
exactly.
He talked about his mom being a lesbian.
Yeah,
and stuff, and you know what I
exactly. Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, just the openness about it and, like, how, like, I watched the interview the other day with just, what's it called? Him and Warren Buffett.
Okay.
And I was watching that, right? Because, like, Warren Buffett's the man.
Warren
you know
Buffett's
what
a
I mean?
goat still. Yeah, he's a
you know?
goat.
And obviously Jay-Z's the goat, too.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about, like, being transparent in your music and stuff, you know what I mean? And, like, that takes a lot of, like, mature. You're in hip-hop, you know? You're supposed to be tough and supposed to be
Yeah,
cool or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And he's talking about some stuff that people would just not say.
Mm-hmm,
And I think, like, nowadays, like, it's changing because we can actually talk about certain things and it's not, like, frowned upon as much.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
So I think it's with the times, too. But just being an old head like Jay-Z
Yeah.
and dropping, like, his last album, was it
444. Yeah.
and like just talking about certain things and just like even the song Legacy.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
my favorite Jay-Z song. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's sick. Like who even thinks about that? I didn't think about my legacy. I never thought about a legacy, and then I'm like, damn, like that's actually something that matters.
Yeah.
When you die,
Yeah, when you have, yeah.
nothing. Your kids
Exactly.
are blessed, and you did your thing.
Exactly,
That's, a legacy,
that's it,
you know?
peace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
peace. Yo, funeral, whatever.
And they have facts. They always say, like, yo, what do you want to be remembered as in the funeral? Like, how do you want people talking about you? What would be the last words you want people to say? And, like, that's a legacy right there because that's however you should live. Like, someone should live their day to day is how they want to be seen as when they pass away, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I guess we'll move on to segment 3, and this is your time. 30 seconds of fame. Give shout outs to whoever you want. You want to promote anything that you have? This is your time.
3 seconds of fame.
3 seconds of fame.
Shout out Conley Boys first and
You
foremost.
already know. Conley Boys all day. If you don't know about us, you'll know soon.
I don't really have anything going right now that's too crazy that I want to promote.
That's
but
fair,
I just want
so.
to promote, like positive conversations with yourself and like being
I like
confident
that.
in yourself and like telling yourself that you can do it and not being afraid of failure. Being vulnerable, like everything we talked about, and like just shout yourself out. Treat yourself like you treat your best friend. They say they're ugly, they say they're this and that. You gotta be like, you're beautiful.
You're beautiful, yeah.
Not to your homies, like it's what I'm saying, like you look good, you did good, like. You hang your head we used to hang our head on football plays, you gotta cheer them on, like that kind of stuff, but do that to yourself. You fail at something you're trying, if you're putting a legitimate effort in and you fail, keep putting that legitimate effort in and something will succeed,
Facts,
It's gonna take 1,000 failures to get that one success. And yeah, just positivity. That's what I want to promote. Shout out positivity.
I like that.
Shout out
Conley Boys.
And where can people find you on social media and everything?
My Instagram is Elijah_Williams_.
That's long.
2 underscores? Bro, how common is your name, bro?
But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm on. Don't follow me on Facebook. That's for my that's weak. That's weak.
Okay,
All right,
okay,
so
perfect,
with
perfect.
that being said,
I guess
Michael's
I'm
got some things to do.
Chug that. You know the rules. Don't chug that.
All right.
I'm drunk.
Heavy drink.
Drunk off that one rolling. Drunk.
Yeah. All right. I mean, it's. So what did we drink today again? We drunk
Corona extra fire.
Always
extra.
10.
Yeah.
I gave it a 10.
Yeah, that's the 10.
Ooh, that's a rookie score.
Rookie score a little
I feel
bit.
like I gave it away too easy. That
Yeah, you ran out there.
At least I asked you, like,
No, you can't. It was a 10. It
I'll
was
say
a
9
10.
with a lime is a dime. That's bars.
No, 9 with a line.
This guy's dropping
9 with a
ball.
line.
9 with a line.
You dropped the 10 early though.
But it's still
all right.
like, you already said
It's
a
a
10,
10. It's
yeah.
out there.
So.
Put my bars at the front, yo. Make that the title of the podcast.
I mean, like Corona's
9
my.
with a line.
Yeah, I love a Corona.
Yeah, Corona. This is my
Good
favorite
choice,
beer.
good choice. We're supposed to
Yeah.
drink a non-alcoholic after, so
Yeah.
thank you for this.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so.
I'm gonna give this a solid 8.6.
Okay,
You
okay.
know, like this is barbecue weather. This is
Is
everything.
there
This
such
is
thing
what
as
I
a
think.
10 though?
Say it again.
Is there such thing as a 10 though?
A
I
10?
haven't had it yet.
If you get stuck in a 10, then what's better,
What's
bro?
better than that?
You can't beat a 10.
What
a
if you have the next
10.1?
best beer after, right after?
Can there not be more than 110?
What?
So you can really say that.
That's deep. That's deep.
This concept of perfect.
Okay.
Okay, we going. This is gonna be an hour-long special.
Wait, time out. What's yours first?
What's mine?
Yeah.
7.9.
7.9.
Easy.
That's stingy.
Easy.
All right.
Give it an 8,
7.9.
though.
Go ahead.
Yo,
Go ahead.
So what if I drop a 10 and then someone else can't do the same thing that's also perfect? Like, what do you mean?
What do you
if I'm a
mean?
diver and I do the sickest dive you ever saw? 10, boom.
Yeah.
Like in the dunk off, everyone gets a 10.
And how whack is that?
But
How whack is that,
There's a
bro?
criteria to that, right?
But what's the criteria?
For this?
For this, that we don't know.
Exactly.
Bro,
I
would
you
say-
never know. There might be something better.
Bro, how entertaining is it? I'm cutting you off. How entertaining is it when we watch a dunk off and we see a
Yeah.
whack dunk and it gets a 50?
The dunk
and then
off
right
is probably
after,
the
we see the
weakest.
sickest dunk ever
That's
and
whack.
it gets a 50. Then
That's
you go to
true,
the
yeah.
finals
Both
and
of
then does
those are
something
whack.
lame and he gets a 49 and the man
Yeah.
gets a 50 for a one-handed dunk.
I shouldn't have said the dunk off.
The dunk
That's
off
a
was-
terrible,
that was so bad.
terrible.
Yeah, that was bad.
Come on, man.
retract that
There's more
statement.
whack than 10
I
there.
retract that
Too
statement.
late,
Dunk
bro.
off is
Too
whack.
late.
But say now, I love chicken wings. That's my thing. You know,
You
chicken
love
wings.
chicken wings?
And I also love ribs, though.
Yeah.
Both in my mind are the most delicious things. The two most, so I can't really say one's not perfect because perfectly made ribs is like.
For real.
But I'm
But hey, it
nice.
might be.
I'll spin
It
facts.
might be. But in the term of ribs, like,
But ribs are like fall off the bone.
Ribs
juicy.
that's
a 10.
that's
though.
a general statement though. Ribs?
You're right about
Whose
ribs.
ribs?
Best
ribs.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta be real good ribs. Like,
Gotta be real
like,
good ribs.
Real good is 10?
The best good.
Real good isn't like the best.
Yeah.
And that's the 10.
If
like,
it's
yo,
real good,
I
like,
can't
if you got
even
real good on
imagine
your
that that's
exam,
a 10.
Okay.
That's a 10.
If you got real good on your exam, that sounds like an 89.
That's something like that.
Yeah, I got real good. Oh, 89, yeah, that's
So
really
what if we
good.
both write an essay on different topics and both get 100%?
Both get 100%.
There's a criteria with that. They must have hit all the points. We don't really have a group.
That's kind of.
I haven't
This
had.
is too subjective for me to be like, yo, this is 10. Because right now, what if I just felt like sipping beer, and then like whatever beer I drank, I'm like, yo, that's way more delicious than normal.
Facts. It might have been your environment that you were in that made that got. But we're not in one of those.
Okay, you know what? The 10 was a little pre-fire. Humbly down to like a 9. Like a 9.2.
A 9.2? Okay.
10 will
No,
say.
he said 0.2. He said 0.2.
Okay,
I said 0.2.
You've said about 6 scores so far.
Bro, no one trust your judgment.
Whatever, yo. It's a good beer. Drink the beer, bro.
It is a great beer. It is great.
Shout out to Corona.
Yeah.
Come
for real.
sponsor.
So yeah.
All right.
Us.
I need 15% off this. I need 50%.
Trying to slide it.
Yeah.
Conley boy, shout out all days.
So this was Eli. I knew this one was gonna be good, and we appreciate you coming out here, making the drive from
20 for
Whitby.
gas.
Yeah. From Oshawa. Oshawa's crazy. That's crazy.
Deep drive.
Well, shout out Pickering. Not Oshawa. Shout out Pickering.
But yeah, we really appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's always good seeing
awesome.
you, bro. I already
This
know.
guy in a year, bro.
Last time
shade,
she was getting
yeah.
married, bro. That's crazy.
Married,
That's it, bro. We're
Party in
cool.
Grand.
Yeah.
Party in Thunder Bay.
But yeah.
All right,
it,
well,
man.
it's another episode of the Bigger Than Real Estate podcast, and thank you once again.
Appreciate it.
All right, signing out.